A boy comes home from school with something heavy in his chest. He doesn't have words for it yet. He just wants someone to notice. And someone almost does. An adult glances over and says, "You all right?" And the boy says the word he will still be saying at 40. He says, "Yeah, fine." And the adult believes him. And that's it. That's the whole event. Nobody shouts. Nobody hits anyone. Nothing happens. That's the part that matters, because nothing kept happening for about 10 years. This isn't a video about a bad childhood. It's about an ordinary one in a house where the feelings were simply never mentioned. And if you're the man I think you are, you've already got an objection ready. Your parents were fine. They worked hard. You were fed, clothed, taken to football. Nothing to complain about. That objection is exactly why this has taken you 30 years to see. It's very hard to notice the thing that didn't happen. So here's what I'm going to show you. How a boy in that house solves the problem, and he does solve it cleverly. Why that solution turns him into a capable, reliable, self-sufficient man. And why that same solution is the reason he's tired, quietly anxious, and can't let anyone help him. And at the end, the one thing that keeps it locked in place, which isn't what you'd expect. Start with the things psychologists know that most people don't. Children can't calm themselves down. Not at first. That's not weakness. The equipment simply isn't finished yet. A child gets upset and he borrows calm from an adult. Do that a few thousand times and the child ends up with a system that can settle itself. That's how it's supposed to install. Now take that away. Not violently, just nobody offers. So the boy has a problem. He's cold and no heat is coming. And here's what a bright child does. He works out how to keep himself warm. He learns to settle himself down. He learns to need nothing from the room. He gets so good at it that by 12, nobody would guess anything was ever missing. And it works. It genuinely works. Which is the whole problem, because things that work don't get questioned. I want to be careful here, because you've probably been told some version of, "You're damaged." You're not. Look at what actually happened. A child in a cold house worked out how to keep himself warm. That's not a malfunction. That's a solution, and a good one. It cost him almost nothing at the time. He stopped waiting for someone to ask, so he stopped being disappointed. He handled things himself, so he was never let down. If you'd graded him on it, he'd have got full marks. So no, nothing was wrong with you. Something was wrong with the room. And here's what that clever boy grew into. Nathan is 38. At work, he's the one they put in front of the angry client. Calm under pressure, never flustered, never seems to need anything. At home, he's the one who sorts it out. The broken thing, the difficult phone call, the family crisis at 11 at night. Everyone leans on Nathan. Nathan leans on nobody. And his older brother asked him something simple a few months back. He said, "What do you actually need from anyone?" And Nathan, 38 years old, articulate, good at his job, could not answer it. Not because he was hiding something, because the question landed on nothing. There was no file there. And notice, every single thing people admire about Nathan comes from the same place as the thing he can't do. The competence and the emptiness are the same adaptation. You cannot keep one and delete the other. Which raises the obvious question, if it works this well, what's it actually costing? Before that, if this is landing, 2 quick things. Subscribe so the next video finds you. And tap that like button for us so this gets pushed to the next man who thinks he's just tired. We appreciate it, and so will he. Here's the first cost, and it's the one men come to me with. The tiredness with no cause. You sleep enough, your bloods are fine, you're still tired. That's because keeping yourself warm is a job, and you've been doing it without a break since you were 8. Second cost, warmth from other people doesn't land. Someone says something kind and it slides straight off. Not because you don't want it, because you're already running your own heat. There's nowhere for theirs to go. Third, the word. Somebody asked how you're doing, and fine is out of your mouth before the question has finished. You didn't decide that. It's a reflex you installed at 8 and never uninstalled. And underneath it all, a low hum of anxiety you can never trace to anything. Of course you can't. It isn't about your job or your health or anything you could put your finger on. It's a body that has never once been settled by another person and has therefore never been allowed to stand down. Now the uncomfortable bit. It isn't your childhood keeping this going. Your childhood finished decades ago. What keeps it going is that you're proud of it. Self-sufficiency stopped being a habit and became who you are. The man who copes. The man who doesn't need managing. So when somebody offers help, it doesn't feel like relief. It feels like being demoted, like losing the one thing you're sure of. That's the trap in the title. Not the neglect, the independence. It saved you at 8 and it's running your life at 38. And it will keep running it for as long as you're getting credit for it. So here's the reframe, and it's smaller than you're expecting. You don't have to stop keeping yourself warm. That skill is yours. You earned it, and you'd be a fool to throw it away. You just have to let one other person put something on the fire, which means 3 things you can actually do. First, answer one question honestly this week. When someone asks how you are, take the extra second. Say one true sentence instead of the reflex. Not a confession, one sentence. Second, let one thing be done for you. Something small and completely unnecessary. Let someone carry it, book it, fix it. Sit in the discomfort of that because it will be uncomfortable, and the discomfort is the point. Third, tell one person what you need. You will not know the answer at first. Remember, the file's empty, so start it badly. I don't know what I need, but I know I don't want to do this bit alone. That'll do. That's the whole move. Go back to that kitchen. The boy at the table waiting to be asked properly. You can't go back and answer for him, but you're the adult in the room now. And the next time somebody asks if you're all right, there's a half second where you get to choose which answer comes out. You were never broken. You were efficient. And you're allowed to stop being quite so good at it. If a line in this was you, or a man you know who's been fine for 30 years, leave one honest comment below. Somebody's going to read it tonight and realize he's not the only one running his own heating. And don't go just yet. There's another one of these waiting right there, about the way minds like yours actually work. If this one saw you, that one will too. Give it a tap and it'll take you straight there. And whatever else happens this week, answer one question honestly. Just one. I'll see you in the next one.